Comfrey versus Nettle. The secret fertilizer battle that changes everything in your garden. If you've been following SoilSage Chronicles, you already know that I have a soft spot for homemade garden brews, the kind that turn everyday weeds into powerful living elixirs for our plants. Today, we're diving deep into one of my favorite ongoing experiments, Comfrey versus Stinging Nettle. Which one makes the ultimate fermented plant juice, or FPJ? Both of these wild greens have earned near-mythical reputations among organic growers. They grow where the soil is richest, thrive on neglect, and, when properly fermented, turn into potent natural fertilizers packed with enzymes, minerals, and plant hormones. But which one actually performs better in the garden? That's what we're about to uncover, together. Before we start stirring up buckets of green magic, let's make sure we're on the same page about what FPJ actually is. Fermented plant juice is one of the most accessible tools in Korean natural farming, or KNF. It's made by mixing freshly harvested plant material with unrefined brown sugar to draw out the plant's sap. As the mixture ferments, it teems with beneficial microorganisms and natural growth hormones. The end result is a liquid fertilizer that doesn't just feed your plants, it activates your soil. When applied properly, FPJ improves microbial life, strengthens plant immunity, and provides bioavailable nutrients in a way that synthetic fertilizers just can't touch. It's alive, balanced, and infinitely customizable depending on which plant you use as the base. That's where our two stars come in, Comfrey and Stinging Nettle. Let's talk about the weeds we're turning into liquid treasure. Comfrey, or Symphytum officinale, is sometimes called the compost activator for good reason. Its deep taproots reach down into the subsoil, pulling up minerals most plants never touch. Potassium, calcium, and phosphorus in particular. If your tomatoes, peppers, or flowering crops could speak, they'd be begging for a Comfrey feed right about now. Stinging Nettle, or Urtica dioica on the other hand, is the ultimate green powerhouse. It's loaded with nitrogen, magnesium, and iron, the nutrients plants need for lush, vibrant leaf growth. Gardeners who grow spinach, kale, or lettuce know this one by heart. A nettle boost is like a shot of espresso for your greens. So right away, we can already see how these two FPJs might serve different purposes. Comfrey is your fruiting and flowering booster, while Nettle is your growth stage energizer. But let's not rely on theory alone. Let's brew them and see what happens. When it comes to making FPJ, precision matters just as much as creativity. A lot of recipes online gloss over the details, and that's how people end up with smelly, ineffective brews. Let's go step by step the SoilSage way, methodical, clean, and foolproof. Both Comfrey and Nettle should be harvested early in the morning, when their nutrient and enzyme levels are at their peak. For FPJ, use only the young, actively growing leaves. They ferment better and contain more growth hormones. Collect about 500 grams, which is roughly a large bowl full of fresh plant material. Avoid woody stems or damaged leaves. Those can throw off the balance of the brew. The golden rule is 1-to-1 by weight. Equal parts plant material and unrefined brown sugar. For example, if you have 500 grams of Comfrey, add 500 grams of brown sugar. The sugar draws out moisture and natural plant juices while creating an osmotic environment that encourages beneficial fermentation. It's not just sweetness, it's science. Mix thoroughly in a non-metallic container, using your hands or a wooden spoon. As you mix, the leaves will start to soften and release liquid. Press them down firmly so they're evenly coated. Transfer the mixture to a clean jar or bucket. Cover it with a breathable cloth or a loose-fitting lid to let gases escape while keeping out flies. Let it ferment for 5 to 7 days at room temperature, ideally between 20 and 30 degrees Celsius, or 68 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit. You'll notice the liquid level rising and the smell changing, from fresh and sweet to deep, earthy, and pleasantly fermented. If it smells rotten or putrid, it's gone anaerobic. Start again and make sure your ratio and airflow are right next time. After about a week, you'll want to strain out the liquid using either cheesecloth or a fine sieve. The result should be a dark, syrupy liquid. This is your concentrated FPJ. Store it in a glass or dark plastic bottle, and make sure to keep the cap loose for the first few days, so any remaining gases can escape. After that, you can tighten the cap. If you've done it right, FPJ can last up to 6 months, as long as you keep it cool and out of the light. Oh, and don't forget, always label your bottles with the date and the plant source. Here's where, honestly, a lot of gardeners either dilute way too much or not enough. Just remember, this stuff is concentrated plant power. You really don't need a lot. For general feeding, a ratio of 1 to 500 is ideal. That's about 20 milliliters, or roughly 4 teaspoons, of FPJ in 10 liters of water. If you're working with seedlings or delicate plants, go even lighter at 1 to 1000, so 10 milliliters per 10 liters. And for fruiting or flowering stages, Comfrey FPJ really shines at 1 to 300, which is about 30 milliliters per 10 liters. Always apply FPJ in the early morning or late afternoon, when plants can absorb nutrients without the stress from the sun. It's best to water the soil first before applying FPJ as a drench, or you can use it as a gentle foliar spray, focusing on the undersides of the leaves. For my raised bed garden, which is around 100 square meters, I typically use 200 milliliters of FPJ per 100 liters of water, spreading it evenly across all the beds every 10 to 14 days. And for small container gardens, 5 to 10 liters of diluted FPJ once a week is usually just right. Now comes the fun part, the experiment that inspired this entire comparison. I brewed 2 batches side by side, one from Comfrey, one from Nettle. Then, I applied each to identical tomato plants in separate beds, keeping every other variable the same. Same soil, same sunlight, same watering schedule. Within 2 weeks, the differences began to show. The nettle-fed plants exploded with leafy growth, dark green, almost glossy leaves and noticeably thicker stems. They looked like they'd been photosynthesizing over time. The Comfrey-fed plants, meanwhile, developed slightly slower early growth, but when flowering began, they took the lead. The fruit set was heavier, the blossoms larger, and the overall plant structure sturdier. By harvest time, it was clear. Nettle wins the vegetative phase. Comfrey dominates the flowering and fruiting phase. Comfrey's magic lies in its mineral composition. Its deep taproots mine nutrients like potassium and calcium that are crucial for fruiting and strong cell walls. When these nutrients become bioavailable through fermentation, they're instantly absorbed by the plant, giving it a late-stage performance boost. Nettle, however, is all about nitrogen and chlorophyll production. Its FPJ stimulates vegetative growth, helping plants build the leaf structure they need to capture sunlight efficiently. It also delivers trace minerals like iron and magnesium, which directly influence chlorophyll density, hence the deeper green leaves. In short, use Nettle FPJ during early and mid-growth, switch to Comfrey FPJ as plants start to bud or fruit. It's the perfect 1-2 punch for year-round garden vigor. Even the best gardeners can mess up FPJ the first few times. Here are the pitfalls I've seen, and honestly, made, along the way. First, over-fermenting. Leaving your FPJ for more than 7 to 10 days can push it into the wrong kind of fermentation. The good microbes die off, and, anaerobic bacteria take over. Stick to a week, and trust your nose. Earthy is good, rotten is bad. Second, using refined sugar, white sugar, just doesn't feed beneficial microbes as effectively as brown sugar or molasses. Always go unrefined. Third, applying under strong sunlight. FPJ is a living feed. Sunlight kills many of its active compounds. Early morning or evening is your window. Fourth, storing in airtight bottles too soon. FPJ continues to release gases after bottling. Always keep caps loose for the first 2 to 3 days before tightening. Learn from these, and you'll never waste a batch again. If I had to crown one as the ultimate FPJ, I wouldn't, because honestly, the truth is, the magic happens when you use them together. Start your plants with Nettle FPJ for rapid, lush growth, then transition to Comfrey FPJ as buds and fruits appear. This way, your plants get the best of both worlds. Nitrogen-rich early nutrition followed by a potassium-powered bloom boost. Think of it as feeding your garden a balanced diet. Nettle for the muscle, Comfrey for the stamina. What I love most about FPJ isn't just the results, it's the philosophy. It's about learning from nature, not fighting it. These so-called weeds aren't problems to be solved. They're teachers, showing us what the soil needs and how life feeds life. Every time I brew a batch of Comfrey or Nettle FPJ, I'm reminded that gardening is less about control and more about cooperation. And honestly, when you finally see your plants respond, lush, green, vibrant, it feels like nature nodding back in approval. So here's my challenge to you. Try both. Brew a small batch of each and run your own experiment. Track your results, learn from your soil, and keep refining your formula. That's the spirit of SoilSage Chronicles, curious, grounded, and always growing. If this guide helped you understand FPJ on a deeper level, or inspired you to try your own batch, hit that subscribe button on SoilSage Chronicles, share this article with your gardening tribe, and let's keep spreading the knowledge that turns good soil into great soil. Because the real secret to a thriving garden isn't hidden in a bottle, it's right beneath your feet.